Up next, day 4 of the David Hyslop case.
Basically indicated she was brutalized.
And one World Trade Center breaking records across the world. Coming up on Fox 5 News at 9.
Your first local news at 9 starts right now, only on Fox 5 at 9.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Emily Scarlett. We will head to the courtroom for day 4 of the David Hyslop trial in just a minute. But first, new charges have been filed tonight against a former Great Falls High School student accused of assaulting other students in a school locker room. 18-year-old Alex Rome now facing 3 counts of misdemeanor criminal assault. Earlier this month, a rape charge and 2 counts of sexual assault against Rome were dismissed after a judge called them excessive. But the judge also said he believed the incidents being alleged deserved to be prosecuted. Prosecutors say Rome came up behind 2 boys in the shower, put one arm between their legs, and picked them up. No word yet on when Rome's next court appearance will be. Jurors still hearing testimony in the homicide case of October Perez. 29-year-old David Hyslop is accused of killing the toddler last summer. Fox 5's Charlie Keegan has been in the courtroom all day. He has the latest from today.
Day 4 continued with testimony from one of the detectives who interrogated Hyslop on the day of the incident. The medical examiner detailed the autopsy he performed on October's body, and a neurologist who treated October spoke about the injuries she suffered.
The damage was everywhere.
Dr. Shaheen Edibar examined October at Benefice Hospital in Great Falls. He says she had bruises all over her body.
Basically indicated she was brutalized.
Showing the jury images of CAT scans, Edibar explained the swelling in her skull was so severe it was pushing down on her brain stem.
She obviously was deeply comatose, was not responsive to any form of command or stimulus.
He called the injuries a result of blunt force trauma.
Did you write in your medical report that you suspected child abuse?
I did.
October was sent to a pediatric intensive care unit in Salt Lake City, where she eventually died. Dr. Ed Lease performed the autopsy in Utah.
Have you also reviewed the photographs that were taken by the Salt Lake City Police Department?
He says the bruising was most likely not done by accident. Hyslop admits to dropping the girl while putting her down for a nap.
In this case, David Hyslop's.
Lease also revealed October had a broken spine when he examined her. He says it's not a result of any medical procedure, but it's hard to pinpoint when it happened.
Having the separation of the back like that, it would be unstable. So it would be constantly shifting with movement, so that, again, that would continue to be painful.
In the morning, the defense questioned the interview techniques of the detectives who interrogated Hyslop in the video showed last week.
At that point, the search wasn't done, or was it?
No, it was in the process of being started, actually.
And while there was 12 or 13 items collected, it's fair to say none of that evidence supported showing that Mr. Hyslop did anything.
I guess it's fair to say, yes.
The prosecution argued detectives considered several factors while questioning Hyslop. An old neighbor of October's mother also testified, saying she saw October the day before the incident and says October wasn't acting normal. Hyslop is charged with deliberate homicide and is facing life in prison if convicted. The trial continues tomorrow morning. Charlie Keegan, Fox 5.
Thanks, Charlie. In hopes of preventing a common problem in schools, the Superintendent of Public Instruction launching an anti-bullying website. Today, Superintendent of Public Instruction Denise Juneau welcomed high school students from across the state to Helena. With the help of 13 grants from the Office of Public Instruction, they completed anti-bullying projects in their schools. Those grants were valued at $2,000 each. Students presented their findings this morning as Juneau announced the new website.
After the last session when the anti-bullying legislation did not pass, we're now the only state in the country to not have anti-bullying legislation. I thought it was important to take that next step and really gather together information, promote it to schools, figure out what's going on across the country that are best practices and provide that information out.
That anti-bullying legislation was Senate Bill 141. It passed the Senate but died in the House. To see the new website, visit this story on our website at kfbb.com. Moving into weather, Chief Meteorologist Adam Coslin is here with a first look at our forecast.
Well, good evening. We've seen a bunch of showers and things have been breezy out there and they will continue to be, but will be drying out tomorrow. Coming up in your Fox weather first, we'll take a look at a wind advisory posted for eastern Montana. Some pretty typical temperatures. They won't move too much this week. As we head forward from here, the front moves through. Will dry out, but later down the road, a few thunderstorms back in the mix. Let you know what we're looking at coming up in your Weather Authority. Emily, back to you.
Thanks, Adam. Members of Congress debating the future cost of education for millions of students who take out student loans. President Bush signed the College Cost Reduction Act in 2007, which reduced the interest rate of subsidized Stafford student loans to 3.8%. Currently, a bill is working its way through Congress to keep the interest rates at its current level. If Congress fails to act by July 1st, the interest rate will double, affecting nearly 7 million college students, including some right here in Great Falls.
It's difficult for anyone to go to school without having some type of loan that they're going to do. It's very nice if we can have people that are full-paid people. There are not very many of us in the United States these days that have a kind of income that could provide that. So it's almost any place you're going to go, you're going to have some kind of loans. It is a hard pill to swallow, and it's one that we hope we don't have to deal with.
The bill passed the Republican-controlled House Friday. Montana Congressman Denny Rehberg voted in favor of the extension. Republicans and Democrats disagree on the source for funding this bill. The bill is due to go before the Democratic-controlled Senate a week from today. It's a common issue across the country, people looking at their cell phones while on the road. But a new initiative by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration hopes to curb that trend. Fox 5's Steve Newton has been looking into this. Steve, what's their plan?
April was coined as Distracted Driving Awareness Month, and May is going to continue that trend, starting with Stop the Text Day tomorrow. The NHTSA hopes the campaign will curb the trend of drivers taking their eyes off the road and going beyond the texting while driving is dangerous message. While this campaign targets young drivers between the ages of 16 and 24, authorities in Cascade County hope that everyone gets the message.
I see young adults, even some folks in their 40s, I see it. They've got their head down, they're texting, and it's not a good thing. We need to encourage people to stop doing that because it's one of the biggest safety things we have on the road right now.
Tuesday also kicks off Global Youth Traffic Safety Month. North Toole County High School and Sunburst is taking part in the Act Out Loud campaign for stronger teen driver safety laws. There are plenty of ways for you to get involved at home. We have a list of websites you can visit in the story at kfbb.com. Steve Newton, Fox 5.
Thanks a lot, Steve. Today, Attorney General Steve Bullock awarded the winner of a statewide poster competition at the Capitol. The Bring Our Missing Children Home contest was created to help families find their missing children. Fifth graders across Montana took part in the competition. Joe Olson from Gallatin Gateway Elementary School won the contest, creating a mosaic piece that depicted missing children reuniting with their family.
We hope to make Montana kids and their families more aware of the need for caution and to watch out for children in their communities.
I just thought it would be kind of original because it said don't to do collages, but not mosaics, and nobody would do a mosaic, I thought.
Currently, there are 61 missing children in Montana, most of which are young teenagers. Joe's poster will now be submitted for the national competition. For more information on the contest and to see a list of missing Montanans, visit this story at kfbb.com. It's now the tallest building in New York, One World Trade Center adding steel columns that puts its height at 1,271 feet high, enough for it to peek over the roof of the Empire State Building's observation deck. With floors still being added to the so-called Freedom Tower, the full height for the new World Trade Center building is at least another year away, then likely to be declared the tallest building in the U.S., defeating Chicago's Willis Tower and taking the world's third highest spot. The building's roof will be topped with a 408-foot cable-stayed mast, making the total height of the structure 1,776 feet, a symbolic statement for all America. A new study suggests obese women may be discriminated against when applying for jobs, and they may also receive lower starting salaries. Researchers originally concealed the nature of the study from the participants in order to avoid biased results. Subjects viewed resumes with a small photo and were asked to make ratings of applicants based on job selection criteria. The team discovered a strong discrimination against obese candidates across all job selection criteria. Study authors note the higher participants rated their own physical attractiveness, the greater their prejudice appeared to be against obese candidates. They say findings show a clear need to address this type of behavior. So, Adam, what can we expect for this upcoming week?
Well, it looks like breezy conditions tomorrow. This should help things dry out, but later in the week, some more storms are possible. So as we think about things lying ahead, we'll take a look at your forecast next. Here's tonight's Almanac.
Your Weather Authority forecast continues right now on Fox 5 at 9.
Welcome back. Things are beginning to slow down out there. Still a couple of isolated showers we're going to take a look at. So let's switch over to the radar satellite. And low pressure's dragging through, and this is producing unsettled conditions. It was nice and warm today. Winds starting to shift out of the west, and it's carrying through some light rain in Lewistown. And it's cleared out towards Cut Bank, but in the middle it's partly cloudy in Great Falls, mostly cloudy in Helena. This current front making progress across the Treasure State, and we'll take the showers out with it once the winds are picking up tomorrow. That's going to help us dry out. 52 right now in Great Falls, 51 in Havre, 45 in Lewistown, 52 in Glasgow, and 49 in Helena. The winds have begun to slow down, still a little breezy in a couple places. Lewistown gusts to 23 miles per hour. Recently, we saw winds there closer to 45 miles per hour. So things backing off tonight, but with this front pushing through, that'll stir up the atmosphere tomorrow. So breezy conditions, turbulent Tuesday, and cooler air in place by the midweek, as we'll be lagging behind average a couple of degrees. 30s and 40s tonight, pretty mild evening. Breezy tomorrow, 61 in Great Falls, 54 in Stanford, and 50 in White Sulphur Springs. Helena 58, 57 in Lewistown, 62 in Fort Benton. And the winds will be rip-roaring around the Rocky Mountain front and Cut Bank, 60, 57 in Shelby, 56 in Chester, upper 40s in Browning, and mid-50s for Choteau. Afternoon thunderstorms fire off along the Highline and northeastern areas. A little later in the day, 65 for Glasgow, once warm up near 70 in Wolf Point. That'll provide some energy to get things going. 55 in Hayes, 65 in Chinook, right at 60 on Wednesday. Only a slight chance for a shower, and Thursday's generally dry with highs in the upper 50s. But once we get into Friday and Saturday, things are active again. Slight chance for thunderstorms each of those days, and lingering showers for Sunday, mostly cloudy skies early next week. So all the while, look at this. Temperatures are not moving much. They really don't get a lot of wiggle room. 60 Tuesday, or 61 Tuesday, 60 Wednesday. We only move a degree or two each afternoon. Thursday, we're in the upper 50s, so it's slightly cooler there, and then we pick things up again. In Helena, keep an umbrella around the next couple of days. Showers will be on the prowl, and as we warm things up getting into the late week period, this is where we're watching active skies and storms firing off. So want to watch out. Remember, when thunder roars, go indoors. And again in Helena, temperatures are pretty consistent. It's kind of a repeat broken record story here, with highs topping out in the low 60s and really not getting far beyond the upper 50s. So Friday, partly sunny. It's about the most sunshine we'll see in this forecast. Get over to KFBB.com. Emily, back to you.
Coming up, if watching the Titanic in 3D wasn't enough, you might be able to see the real thing. And J-Lo giving out free tickets to her concert. That's in tonight's entertainment update, up next on Fox 5.
Singer Mariah Carey says "I do" for the 5th time to husband Nick Cannon. J-Lo letting her fans get up close and personal. And while one reality show says goodbye, another steps into the light. That's in tonight's entertainment update.
Came to have a party.
Mariah Carey celebrating her 4th wedding anniversary and the first birthday of her twins today in Austria. The pop star marking the occasion by performing on an Australian mountaintop to coincide with the end of the ski season. The singer renewing her wedding vows with actor and TV host Nick Cannon in Paris prior to arriving in Austria. They renew their vows each year. This is the 5th time they've said "I do," but the first time the couple has celebrated the birth of their children, Moroccan and Monroe. Pop superstar Jennifer Lopez trying to get her fans as close to the action as she can. The American Idol judge relaunching JenniferLopez.com with a backstage pass so fans can get closer than ever while she's on the road this summer. Registered users get free access to the site's tour feed section, which will feature ticket giveaways for each show. After 2 seasons, Khloe Kardashian and Lamar Odom pulling the plug on their reality show so Odom can spend more time focusing on his basketball career. Meanwhile, Kevin Jonas and his wife of 3 years getting their own reality show on E! Married to Jonas premieres August 19th. And that's your entertainment update.
A modern-day replica of the Titanic could soon set sail. Australian billionaire Clive Palmer says he has signed a memorandum of understanding with the state-owned Chinese company to build the Titanic II. Designers and a historical research team have started work on the replica, which would have the same dimensions as the original.
We're planning that when it's completed in 2016, it'll sail from Shanghai to London with an escort from the Chinese Navy. We think it'll be a great achievement. It'll also be a great tribute to the people who designed the original Titanic. It was certainly their intention that their work and the skill in their endeavours survived into the future, and we think we've got a vested interest in ensuring that it survives into the next century.
So, Tom, what do you think? You think you want tickets to Titanic 2 cruise?
It just seems like it's cursed, the name. I don't know what it is.
I feel the same way. Well, Tom Wiley is up next with sports, and it looks like there's some changes in high school and Legion baseball.
Indeed. You know, there's a new rule that may help bring some fun back to America's favorite pastime at the high school and Legion levels. With the change regarding the types of bats used in games played by high schoolers, coaches, parents, as well as fans can look to see less home runs but more small ball. Plus, we'll talk a little tennis and some softball. All that and more coming up. Stay tuned. Sports is next.
Total sports coverage. Fox 5 Sports starts right now.
Tom Wiley here with your Fox 5 Sports Update. Well, it's not on your schedule if you printed them out off the website, but the Great Falls and CMR tennis teams will take the court tomorrow for their final tune-up before the Helena Invitational this weekend. One match to keep an eye on will be the #1 girls doubles contest between Katie Sorotsky and Jackie Santine of Great Falls High and Lisa Spencer and Lindsay Martinez of the Wrestlers. These girls have a lot of history together, but there will be more than just crosstown pride on the line.
In our division, and probably who wins the #1 double would probably be seeded first going into divisionals.
It's more motivation to win and have fun while winning at the same time. And we know both the players really well, so we're looking forward to a really good match.
Well, over the weekend, the Capital Bruins softball team lost a heartbreaker to Glacier High, which gives them a 6-1 record in the Western Conference standings. That's significant because the Bruins haven't lost a conference game in 2 years. They ran the table in the West last year before falling short at the state tournament. But despite the setback, Coach Mike Miller is happy about the progress his team has made this season.
I'm obviously pretty pleased. You know, we got off to a little bit of a tough start, but you know, we've had our ups and downs. I'd like it to be a little bit more consistent, but I'm not going to complain about where we are for sure. I really like it that our girls they stay pretty balanced throughout the game and they work hard till the end of the game's over and not get too caught up in the score until it's over.
I think as a team we're getting better and better, and we're gelling like we should on the field and off the field, and that is what causes improvement on the field.
Well, as you well know, high school sports is very big throughout the state of Montana as well as around the country. Safety first has always been the major concern when it comes to equipment and the youth, in particular baseball bats. A new rule by the National Federation of High Schools has been put into place to help curtail some serious injuries. Jerry Riles has more.
Say goodbye to the long ball and hello to the small ball.
That's a big difference because when we came up, we could use any bat we wanted.
At the start of the 2012 baseball season, high schools and Legion leagues in Montana will see fewer home runs because of a new rule implemented by the National Federation of High School Sports.
Wood, composite, whatever. It's got to be BB core. It's not allowed. And the umpires do a good job of policing that.
NFHS states that all bats used on a high school level must be BB core certified to protect all players. Now, if you're not familiar with BB core bats, it stands for Batted Ball Coefficient of Restitution.
BASR bats that we've been using, the last couple of years have obviously they have more pop. I mean, you can roll over on a ball, and it'll squeak through the infield sometimes for a base hit. Now, with the BB cores, they're more like wood bats.
In July of 2003, a Miles City Mavericks player, Brandon Petch, died after being struck in the head by a ball off a line drive from an aluminum bat while pitching.
It's definitely a safety issue. In fact, the Miles City program went to just using all wood bats because of that. And when you got a kid that's standing at 60 feet 6 inches, and you got a recorded exit speed at excess of over 100 miles an hour, you don't have a lot of reaction time.
With the phasing out of the BESR to the mandatory BB core bat, it makes the game much more competitive.
Teams are going to have to play more small ball. The game's going to be a little more faster without the runs production is going to be down, so a lot of small ball bunting, moving runners over is going to have to be a big thing.
Not everybody's hitting it to the fence. It's more bloop shots and, I don't know, wherever you can find a hole.
So you may not see the long ball as often this summer, but if you want to enjoy America's favorite pastime and see some safe, clean fun, check out some area high school baseball and softball. You just might enjoy the new game of small ball. For Fox 5 Sports, I'm Jerry Riles.
Thanks, Jerry, and stay safe out there, guys. That'll do it for sports. We'll be back after this.
Well, that's all for tonight. We'll see you tomorrow night on Fox 5 News at 9.